So I was just crossing the street, and I was like this car is pulling up as I'm walking up to the street, like pulling off the side of the road, like out in front of me, basically, and it just like stops, and I'm like, normally I would just like walk right out in front of it. I'd just be like, "Fuck you," but today I was like, "I'll be nice. I'll be nice to this stalker." I was like, "You go," and then they're like, and I'm like, "No, you go," and they're like, I'm like, and they're like, and they're like, I'm like, "No, you go," and then they finally go though. I think they had a C3 license plate. It's like even when I'm trying to be nice, like bitch, go. And they're like laughing the whole time too. They're like, and then I was walking in the grocery store this morning, and I saw these people walk out on the sidewalk in front of me. Like they turned toward me on the sidewalk around the corner at the end of the block as I get up across the intersection at the other end of the block. And they're walking toward me on the sidewalk, and then they turn around and walk the other way and like walk around the corner as like someone else walks out, and then like he walks by me, and then the one person had a red shirt and those two people that were walking before him, and then he walks by me, but it's not at a corner though, and I'm like, but he looks familiar though. I'm like, I think this guy stalked me before, but he wasn't walking by me at like a sink place, and I was like, okay. And then I see him when I come back out of the grocery store, and he's just like standing on the sidewalk in a really weird place, just like standing in the middle of the sidewalk, like, and he's just standing there and he's staring at me as I cross the street. And then, like, I look behind me to see if he's following me after I cross the street. Like, I walk a little bit and then I look behind me. And, like, right when I look behind me, he's walking out, like, around the corner of the building. Like, he's just standing by the corner of the building and then walked out when I turned around or something. Because, like, they knew I was going to look back to see if he's following me, I think. Like, and then I saw a couple of planes that I don't know if they were synced or not. And then I saw a bunch of children stalking me today. And on that video I just recorded, there's a boy on a scooter. He's like with this couple. I thought it was his parents, but then he goes to another couple. So I'm like, but he's walking with this couple, or he's on a scooter, and they're walking, and one's got a red shirt, one's got a blue shirt, which is something that the sinkheads do. But as I walk by him, the kid on the scooter turns around the other way and rides the scooter the other way up the sidewalk. Like they're walking toward me. And so he turns and goes up ahead of me on a scooter, and then he meets up with this other couple. And then when they walk by me, a car's driving by me. And the boy on the scooter is with him. And then there's this other group of people, like a little further ways up from them. They're just like standing behind a truck talking. And then when I walk by them, another car drives by me. No, I ended the last live stream. It's just stalkered up out here, and stalked hearted. My neighbors were making tapping noises through the walls a little bit ago. There's somebody in my apartment or whatever. There's a bunch of stalkards out with their children today, raising them up to be stalktarded. Didn't want to dox himself. What? What, like record all the way to my apartment, you mean? I see this guy with his children, they're getting in a whitey. He's opening the whitey door as a guy with the red shirt walks behind the whitey door, walks behind the whitey, and then he closed the whitey with another whitey. And then the red shirt guy, I think, synchronized again. And then I think my water heater turned on synchronized with the red shirt guy. I think it was my water heater or my neighbor making a sound or something. There's a bunch of people outside with their children right now stalking. It's just weird. They're out there with their children stalking. Children are riding bikes and walking by me, stalking, and like mocking me and shit. It was like, it's like being bullies. I'm getting bullied by children, literally. Like they're not shoving me into lockers or anything, but like subliminally bullying me. This whitey took off with this car door closing, and I think a tan car, and then a bunch of other things are going on right now. How's your sleep and stress? You're focusing on using the ring. I'm good. What else was I gonna say? I don't know. There's that stalker dog on that video too. That was like barking synced, and then ran up to me with that. He's on a leash, but there's nobody around. Like he's on like a walking leash. but nobody's around, and he just runs right up to me like he's gonna bite me or something. But he didn't. And then there's that girl in her house that she opened her house door next to me like a week ago or whatever that was, when I was walking from Walmart. She comes out of her house right next to me with the dog, and the dog runs at me like it's gonna bite me, but then it didn't. And then she was like, "I'm calling the cops. You're recording houses. That's creepy as fuck." And then she like drove out and found me at an intersection, and was like recording me with her phone, had her phone out. But yeah, there's always dogs doing that. Sometimes that'll happen. It seems to be happening more often lately. The dogs are running up at me like they're gonna attack me. A lot of times it'll be that, but they'll just be on a leash though. But lately they're just running right up to me. It's happened a few times, like in the past whatever month or whatever. I could say a lot about work and stuff, but I just. But whenever I'm driving on the highway, though, it's just stalkered up the whole way. It's crazy. And there was a male guy that parked his car synced with me driving by on the highway today. He is like pulling up to this mailbox that's on the side of the highway because it's like a country house. And he does it synced. And then there'll just be just cars driving the opposite way, all the way up the highway. There'll be the whiteys and all the colored things. There'll just be like a black car and a silver car and a silver car. But they'll be driving by me at streets. They'll be driving by me at hills and curves in the road. Whenever a road curves, or when it straightens back out again, they like to sink there. And like a car will drive by me, and then another car will be coming up over the hill ahead of me at the same time. Then it'll drive by me, and then another car will be coming over the hill, and then it'll drive by me, and then a bird will fly in front of me when it drives by me. And then I'll get to an intersection, and a butterfly will fly in front of me. And people just be like walking up ladders next to me. This guy, I was walking by his house today. This guy just like walks up. There's a ladder up against this front of his house, and he just like walks up to it next to me and like grabs it or like starts to get on it or something. I didn't look over at him, but I just hear the ladder just like creaking. And like whiteys are driving out in front of me at the same time, way up the street. And yeah, and then before that last video, I saw these kids playing basketball synced across the street from me as I'm walking up the street. And then under this tree, and there's this bird in it, like right over my head, like really close to me, and it's like, and then it like flies over to another tree branch or something, and then it calls one more time right as a tail lift turns out in front of me, and there's a banging sound at the same time. There's a bunch of weird shit going on out here. It's just always just weird every day. It's always weird. I just saw black and silver when I walked up. And this is especially weird because I just can't get any answers. I just ask people like, hey, what the fuck is going on? Why are you doing this weird shit? And they're like, what? And then you're like, do they even know they're doing it? Are they remote controlled? But then they'll like make it known that they're like, no. They'll like stand by a car and just stare at the car for 30 seconds and then open the door when a white car drives out. And like stare directly at you while they do things, and what shit. So no, they know what they're doing. They're doing it deliberately. Whether they got a choice or not, I don't know. Whether they're being forced to do it, I don't know. But they're doing it, and then they act like they're not doing it, but they are doing it. Constantly doing it. Constantly doing it. And then my sink was dripping synced last night. My toilet gurgled synced, I think last night, this morning or something. Bubbles will come up in the bowl and it'll just be and it'll do it synced, and it'll turn on synced randomly, just like, and then it'll stay on after I flush it, and then it'll turn off synced, and it'll just stay on for a really long time. Sometimes it won't. Sometimes it'll like turn off right away, and it's like that's how it's supposed to turn off. But then usually it will just stay on for a long ass time, and then right when I turn the sink off, washing my hands, or turn the light switch off or something, or push my glasses up or whatever, the toilet will turn off. Every day, every time I flush it. And sometimes it won't flush, like it's deliberately not flushing, like it's not overflowed or it's not clogged or anything. I don't know about that one, if it just doesn't flush because it's a shitty toilet or what, but it definitely sinks on me though. And then if it doesn't flush, like it'll stay on for a long time, so I gotta stand and wait for it to flush it again. Or just like leave the room and be like, fuck it. It's a troll toilet. It's a fucking shitty asshole toilet. And then this thing, the heater knob on the wall was like, sounded like it was gonna start on fire or something, and it was like, it'll like click synced all the time. Like if I turn the heater on, it'll just like, because it clicks like when it turns back on. Like it turns off with, if it gets too hot in here, as like a sensor, it turns off and then it like turns back on again. So like it'll click when it turns back on, but like it'll click at synced up moments. And my refrigerator will click at synced up moments and turn on and off synced, and the machine outside my apartment will turn on and off synced. I just like to repeat all these things just to like put in perspective how many things in here sync. And the light flickers synced. And my laptop syncs when I'm watching DVDs and making beats and stuff. Like, it'll like buffer synced, like freeze up synced and shit. And my phone will sync, glitch out synced and buffer synced. And advertisements will come up synced on YouTube videos. In the middle of a YouTube video, the ad will start playing synced. And then phone calls and text messages will come in synced from stalkers, or just from random like numbers, or like getting all these like election ones and shit. Donald Trump and shit. I'll just get like these random number text messages, or like usually the number will have like 33 or 86 or whatever in it, but it'll be coming in synced. And then all the stalkers that I interact with are always calling and texting synced. And then there was a car honking this morning outside. It was like, honk, 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 honk. I see a one-lighter right now. Alright, but I'm gonna get off of here. It's enough sync tardation talks. I think I covered it all right now. Yep, I think that's all. So, everybody have a good night. Vote for IllCat and subscribe to Cat the Glitch.